Okay, so there's a lot of debate on this kind of topic in the world right now, so I felt like I would just take a little bit of time to touch on it as it's on my brain and my environment. So, the idea of work being harder than childbearing, or the idea of child rearing. Childbearing is a whole other ball of wax. Okay? Or child rearing being easier or harder than working a job, right? Because in this modern day and age, it's not so common that you just have the man working and the woman at home with the kids, although that is my situation. Now, here's what I see. A long time ago, work used to be extremely difficult and dangerous. Now, it's still difficult, but but a lot of work. Let me actually flip that back. Okay, so it can still be dangerous. It can still be difficult, but there are many alternative methods now that we are able to use in order to generate income. If you're able to create a system from using your brain power to essentially build a money machine, it's not that difficult once the machine is built. It can even be really rewarding, and you can get a lot of status and accolades from the community for doing this. Now, child rearing now is not as difficult as it used to be in certain ways, but in other ways it's actually a lot more difficult, right? So back in the day, you had more of a community around you, right? Like, we were less connected in some sense, like digitally, obviously, because that didn't really exist yet, but we were more connected in that the family nucleus was often extremely healthy in some sense, in that it wasn't fractured apart, it wasn't broken apart. You had both parents in the same house, and oftentimes you would also have one or two grandparents in the same house as well, and then friends that were nearby, and you guys would like all help, like the village would raise the children. That doesn't happen anymore. The village doesn't raise the children anymore. Usually a set of broken parents, or one single parent from a fractured marriage will raise the children. In my house, that's not the case, thank God. We are a whole nuclear family, and I, the man, goes out and works, and my partner is able to stay at home. Also, since I have been able to use my brain and body to build a money generation machine, my work is enjoyable. But that has also taken extreme sacrifice on my part. I've broken most of my face. I decided to choose professional fighting, obviously, for a career, and then after that built a business to sell the ability to fight as a professional, or just fight, to be a capable martial artist in all areas of fighting other than weapons. Right, so that's my business, and it's awesome, it's fun, it gives me a lot of accolades and connection and status. So my wife, in seeing that, is like, man, working is so much easier than child rearing. In a lot of ways, that's really true. If I have to stay home with her and raise the kids all day, every day, it gets really difficult for me. My temper becomes shorter, it's really, really hard. But also, because I've created this money machine, which was still quite difficult to create, but is a whole lot easier than working in a coal mine, I have a lot more time to to help her to raise the kids, right? It's not like I'm full-time at work and I'm working like a dog 10 to 12 hours a day and I just get home and like eat and go to sleep and get up and go back and I never see them. I never see the kids. She has to do the whole thing on her own. That doesn't happen. I'm here for a few hours, like at the most 8 hours, but usually like 4 to 6 hours I'm at the gym. And sometimes I have to put in some time at home as well on the computer to make sure I handle the back end and stuff. But that gives me a lot of time to still raise the kids and a lot of flexibility to step in and if things are getting really crazy and give her more time to go out and do things for her, right? Now, child rearing back in the day was not like that. Like the man had to go out for extreme periods of time, right? Like 10, 12, 14 hours a day, and they had to go and work in coal mines. They had to drag logs off the mountain by horseback and buck those things up and sell them. Like it was crazy trying to make a living back in the day. It was really hard, so the women had to do it through all the child rearing, all of it. Now, what does that say about today? What is harder? Is working harder than rearing children? I think that depends on the type of work, right? How dangerous is your job? How stressful is your job? Do you get any positive not affirmations, but do you get anything positive back from the community for doing your job? Do you have some super thankless job that is also really difficult and dangerous? Like, say, a police officer? That would be horrible. You probably get some status within your community, but you're just dealing with the worst of society all day, and everyone also hates you for it. Including me. Like, I hate seeing cops, man. I don't want to be anywhere near a cop. That shit is annoying and stressful just to be around those guys, because you just never know what they're gonna do, and they have the power to do it. And if you're colored or not part of the mainstream society, you probably have some sort of history of dealing with cops that will just immediately racially profile you and treat you lesser than some part of the mainstream society, right? Now, is child rearing harder or easier than working? That depends on your situation. If you're rearing the children, are you in a relationship where you are raising them completely solo and get zero help from your man? If that's the case, then yeah, especially if he's got some cushy desk job where he makes crazy amounts of money by like telling people what to do. If he's built a money machine and is just chilling, not chilling, you're doing some stressful stuff. You've got a lot of pressure on you in many different ways, right? But you're not talking to screaming toddlers all day, every day with no reprieve, right? You're not telling people to stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop hitting your sister. Get down off the table. Don't put that in your mouth. Stop drawing on the walls. Over and over and over and over all day long. If you're not dealing with that, right? If you are in a job where you're just like, you do this, oh, you make sure you're not doing that anymore. Simple by comparison. So it's a spectrum, man. It's a spectrum. None of this shit is black and white. There's always going to be nuance. And in the nuance within the nuance lies the truth. Regardless of the situation, be grateful for that other person that's there. Because The people that have it the absolute hardest are the ones that have to do both. All the single parents out there who have to raise the kids and find a way to bring home the money, yo, my heart goes out to you. You guys deserve a medal. Because nobody even, you've got nobody there that's even seeing what you're doing. Nobody's there patting you on the back being like, oh, thank you for paying rent this month. Oh, thank you for putting food on the table. Oh, thank you for cleaning the kitchen. Thank you for doing the dishes. Thank you for doing all the laundry. Thank you for vacuuming the floor. Thank you for making sure that this whole family doesn't die. You don't have that. So those of you that are in relationships, those of you that have a significant other that is involved in your relationship, just be grateful, man. No matter what role you're in, if you're the breadwinner, be grateful that your wife is at home raising your kids. If you're the woman at home raising the kids, just be thankful that your man is out there providing for you. Even if he doesn't help you to raise the kids, it's better than doing it all on your own. And if you're in one of those beautiful relationships where there's some sort of sharing, right? There's some sort of sharing between child rearing. There's some sort of sharing between bringing the food home. Be grateful, man. Be grateful, because you're actually living in a utopia. You're actually living in a utopia. That is like the best case scenario. And that's not to say it's not difficult. I see you. It's hella difficult. It's crazy. The amount of hard work and banging your head against the wall and taking yourself down multiple notches in order to make a relationship work. It is one of the hardest, if not the hardest thing on the face of the earth. The only thing that's probably harder is raising the kids and winning the bread all by yourself. So be grateful, be thankful. And if you're not in a relationship and you're raising the kids and winning the bread, be grateful and thankful to yourself, because you're doing it. You're actually doing the hardest thing in the entire world. And I see you. Thanks for watching. I know I don't post much, but when things are on my mind, that's when you'll see things come out. Peace.